everybody. My name is Shelby. I'm so happy that you're here with me. I am a intuitive card reader for Three Divine Feminines. Hi, Hala. Hi, Tara. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Trina. Thank you for joining. Hello, Janet. Thank you for joining. I'm just waiting for Deanna to pop on. She should be on here shortly. Hi. Hala, hala. I was like, I wasn't sure how to pronounce it. Hopefully I'm doing it right. But, hi. Deanna's here. So, tonight I'm going to be interviewing Deanna at Crstlynvibes, and I met her. Through, oh, I think she's coming. So yeah, I was watching a live on Shiny Disco Ball's channel, Candy. She does Waking Up with Candy, and I was super called. Oh, this cut my head off.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for joining.
Of course. Thanks for giving me a minute. I used it
Absolutely.
wisely.
Good. When you logged on, I cut my head off, so I'm fixing it. So I was just telling.
Go ahead.
I was just telling everybody how I found you.
Oh, yeah.
I saw your live with Candy, Waking Up with Candy. Is that her show? Yes. And I don't normally. Well, I've been starting to watch more live since then. But hello, thank you everyone for joining. But I was called to it. I clicked on it and everything Deanna was saying just felt like home. And then I went to her YouTube channel, and I have watched all of those channels 3 times at least, some of them even more. Like sometimes I'll just put it on when I go to bed at night, because I find that when I'm listening to you channel, I can so much it's easier for me to hear my own guides. And I'll start having conversations in my head, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't listen to anything she said, you know? So, yeah.
Well, can I say something really quick?
Yeah.
It's really funny that you said that it helps you go to sleep. So when I channel like my guides, but Nanturanka is my higher self, is the essence of my higher self. And so when she comes through, she has like this ASMR effect, and I always knew that because I can feel her. But at the same time, somebody just confirmed that with me, and I don't know if he's on here, Matt Ben. I've been talking to him, and he was like, yeah, she has this total ASMR effect. And I was like, yeah, it really, and I guess that's my heart and my purpose and my mission, is I want people to be able to channel their own guidance. And so it makes my heart happy that that's what it's doing for you, Shelby.
That's exactly what it's doing for me.
Yeah.
You said ASMR?
Yeah, I don't even know what that stands for. If you look it up on YouTube, it gets like weird stuff. But like it's just like soft sounds, and it helps people like go into that meditative state. It's like soft, soothing sounds, and it can be like a range or a variety of things. Not that I like listen to any of that, but it is that energy or that essence of the ASMR that people are getting. It's a real thing. It's a real therapy. So
I just took notes and wrote it down so I could check later.
yeah. Spiritual ASMR. I like it.
So also, Deanna did my BQH session, which was amazing. Beyond Quantum Healing.
Yes.
And then I'll let you explain a little bit more about what that's about.
Gosh, we could talk for hours about what it's about. Really, we could if we went into the depth of the quantum field, because that's where we go. We go to the quantum playground when we do our BQH sessions together. And it's the same thing as like regression, healing, QHHT. There's so many different varieties and methods, I guess, and modalities of the same thing, of tapping into that quantum field. And that's where reality really is. So the things that you tap into in the quantum field is actually your reality. It's how you manifest things, what you're thinking about, what you're trying to like move forward, worries or excitements, it doesn't matter. You can expand on each energy. So when we do Beyond Quantum Healing, I guide you through like this really deep meditative state to where you start to be brought to certain scenes and certain people, beings, energies, and it helps you address the deepest places in your soul's path right now that are like those big blockages, right? And not only heal those big blockages in one like chunk, but it helps you connect with your guidance, right, Shelby?
Yes, it does.
Right? You're totally activated. Like you're starting to hear the guides. You're starting to hear your higher self. You're starting to write things down and be inspired. Like the Beyond Quantum Healing opens up those doors, you know, for people that are ready. You have to be ready for it. You have to have done enough spiritual healing to really get that unlocking and that activation. You can use it for your beginning stages of healing, but it will still be a process. Not everything gets done in one session, just like everything else, right? So, sorry, long story short. Sorry.
It's okay. No, that was great. Yeah, it was amazing doing that session with you, and absolutely changed my perspective on everything. And you know, I know that my guides are always with me now. Like I don't have to remind myself anymore, you know. It's just more natural than not them being here with me now. So
yeah, and that feels good, right?
It feels so good.
It feels so awesome, and I want more people to feel this way.
So when I was
go ahead. Sorry, I get excited.
You're fine. No, when I was on here earlier, I was telling them about things that had helped me, and I said, you know, that being in that place with my guides feels just as good as when my divine masculine and I are in communication and doing really good together.
Yes.
It feels that good, you know, that just love.
Yeah.
You know,
that flow.
That flow, yes.
The way it's intended to be. Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Good. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Messaging.
So, I mean, that's a good segue into like what we're really here to talk about. So, what question? Do you have questions for me, or what are we gonna do?
I do have questions for you. Okay. So, we're gonna talk about Deanna's divine love journey. And my first question is, when did you first encounter your counterpart, and any magic surrounding that?
Yeah. I'm sorry about the lighting, guys. I feel like I look like a alien reptile, which is it's okay though. Okay, so
you always look beautiful.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. I needed that, sister. Thank you. So my divine masculine and I, well, first of all, let me back up to the moment I put him on paper.
Oh.
That's how I manifested him. And I was in that whole like law of attraction mode. And I was like, I want to manifest everything, you know, all the big dreams, right? And that's like what, over 6-7 years ago. So I write him down like word for word to the T, everything about him that I wanted him to embody, the whole feeling of it. And I really, you know, I folded that up and tucked it away. And, you know, there was a relationship that happened that I thought it was all the boxes, and I was trying to make that person fit into the boxes, and it didn't work very well. Wonderful person. But then when I finally realized I had to let that person go for the best of both of us, which was the best because he has a really beautiful wife and child now.
I love that.
Right. We got to let go of some things, right? We have to not settle for less than what we want to manifest. And so I wanted to manifest.
Learning that lesson now.
Yeah. I think it's an ongoing. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how much we know. It's still that next piece of the process. So let's see. Yeah. Got that one out of the way. And I met my DM my divine masculine at an airport. So I was on a trip for a hair convention because I was a hairstylist, and my flight got canceled the night before. So I was like, no big deal. I booked it for the next flight, show up at the airport, sit down, and I feel all professional and cute. And
I love that.
yeah, and you know, on a mission. I had no kids that weekend. It was like my time, you know, just to be Deanna. So I was like flying. I was vibing high. Let me tell you that. I was in the vicinity. I was in the higher realms of feeling really good for that day, you know. And back then, my vibrational set point was all over the place. So this was a good day. And I thought to myself, I really hope no one hits on me in this airport. Like, I just want to do my thing. I really do. And this guy sits next to me, a few seats away from me, and I'm like, oh gosh, why is he sitting so close? Like, what's going on? And he asked me a question. We opened up conversation, and it was so natural and so easy, as if we had been talking we picked up where we left off, right?
Yeah.
So we start to board the plane, and I'm like, oh shit, you know, we're gonna get separated. This is it. Like, whatever, nice guy, but whatever. And I was like, what seat are you in? He's like, oh, I'm in 3F. I'm in the front. And I was like, I'm at 4F. I'm right behind you. Like, serendipity, wow. You know what I mean? Do you believe in serendipity? Do you believe in those moments? And you're like, okay, that's weird. And then I was like, huh. He's like, yeah, it's really weird. He's like, I travel all the time. I never reschedule flights. He's like, but I was on a later flight and I rescheduled for this one. And I was like, I was on an earlier flight and got canceled. And when this one, they put me in this plane in this seat. It was like, you can't deny those things in your life when they're screaming right at you. So we get on the plane. We get to our destination, and I think to myself, oh my God, I'm talking to a stranger in the airport. I'm crazy. I have to leave now. Like, I'm done. I'm gone. I'm out of here. I literally jumped over people in the aisle. No airplane etiquette at all. Just bulldozed past people, and I was like, I can't talk to this guy. I don't know what is going on. So I like bolt down the airport, and I hear this voice, and I know who this voice is now because I talk to my guides regularly. But I heard this very strong voice come in and was like, if you do not get a contact information, you will regret this for the rest of your life.
I just got chills.
Yeah, right. And you can't ignore your guidance. You can. But when it's really cut and dry, when it's very loud and clear, you cannot. You would feel sick if you didn't follow the call, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I stop, I wait. He comes down, he's like, oh my gosh, you waited. I was like, yeah, you know, sorry, like, I forgot your name. And he's like, oh, my name's Mike. And mind you, I had a psychic reading probably 8 months prior. And the woman was like, you're going to meet this guy. He's like your soulmate. His name is Mike. And at the time I was like, Mike is a very generic name. Why would she? I just thought she was making some shit up. And here he is. And so it's all coming together in that divine moment, right? Because that's what's happening. There's a divine connection, and you can't ignore that when you find that counterpart. And so yeah, I mean, we went to dinner that night, had a great time, went to dinner one more time, and like the rest is history. Seriously, it really is. So that's my story.
Well, the next question I was going to ask is, can you share your story?
Our story, our journey together?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the funny part about, like, we're talking about twin flames, right? So that's the funny part about, like, the chase and the different things that, you know, we can search up and find online, like what defines a twin flame relationship. And mind you, like, my relationship with my children's father, at the time, I didn't know what twin flame relationships were, but it seemed as though that relationship checked all the boxes of the intensity and the this and the that, but there was a distortion to it. So I knew that this was a real twin flame because I had that contrast before of a really, really negative, toxic relationship that is very intense and mirrors a lot of the same things as twin flames. So now I have the real deal in front of me and I'm like, oh shit, here it is. And like, and at the same time, you know, now the internet's coming out with all this information about twin flames, whether you believe in it or not, whatever, it doesn't matter. I know what I feel. And
Absolutely.
and, yeah. And I'm like, okay, so this is going to be great. But then you start reading things about the chase and like, it's a real thing. Like we were so in love, but at the same time, we had a lot of hurts and pains and traumas in the background, you know, to our own whatever situations before that we really had to sift out some of the final like dusting layers because we were both working on those things separately. But once you finally come together, it really brings up a lot of this dust, right? So I think that's where the runner and the chaser come in. You know, one like me, so gung ho. I'm like, hey, I met you. Let's do this. Like,
Destined. Let's
like,
get
yeah,
married
we're
now.
destined to be. Let's take over the world. Like, and
Right?
you're like, whoa,
Back up.
no. But you know what? I did warn him. Like the first time, like one of our first trips together, I was like, so I have to like let you know I'm really weird. He's like, wait, what? I was like, yeah, like, you know, like tarot cards and crystals and like energy shit and like, you know.
Yeah.
He's like, all right. Like,
yeah.
I was like, okay, well, I got that out of the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, the runner chaser thing becomes a thing when you really have to address what's underlying within yourself.
Absolutely.
And he was really like trying to put the brakes on everything, and I had already had this plan rolling in motion to move to the town he lived in. And I know what all that looks like. Everyone's like, okay, you crazy girl, you're moving into the town he lives in. And I had my own dreams and goals and desires, and I was like, this ain't about you. So there was a lot of that kind of attention. Like, I don't want you to come into my world too quick. And I'm like, I'm here to do my own thing. Like, we have all these, you know, energetic, like very excited, energetic energies that are like really bouncing off each other and not quite balanced. So, you know, I backed off and then it got good and it was good, but it was always just kind of back and forth. Like it gets really good and then it's kind of weird. And it was that back and forth for a long time. Not weird in a bad way, just distant, like radio silence. And you're like, okay, what is going on? And you have to you have to recognize it's not you. And it's not necessarily them either. It's just, you just got to attend to the heart, your own heart, you know?
Right.
And so that's what I chose to do. And I was going through, you know, the remnants of a divorce and a rebound relationship and a single mom and 2 kids living in a place that I have no idea who anybody is or no family, nothing. You know, so dealing with all those emotions while dealing with a twin flame relationship is
a lot
intense, to say the least, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of transmuting, a lot of energy clearing, a lot of tears, a lot of, you know, doubt and fear and pain. I went through a major depression, not because of my twin flame, but just because of everything's going on, awakening, like all the things.
Like the dark night of the soul type thing.
Dark night of the soul, 100%. I was going through my dark night of the soul while trying to build a relationship with my twin flame.
Oh gosh.
But it's possible.
Yeah, not possible.
Yeah, it is. And I think when you come into realm with your twin flame, you know that in the back of in your heart. You know what I mean? You just know it like you know it, like you know it. And that's why you don't give up, even if you have to step back.
Right.
You know, just surrender to that energy of it. So, yeah.
So this isn't a normal question that I have, but when did you guys get married?
We had a secret wedding on the beach. December.
I love that.
It wasn't supposed to be, but I know it was very, very romantic and intimate. And actually, probably exactly the way we wanted it. We're very like, I'm a lone wolf. 100%. I just do my own thing. I don't, yeah. So we had this like private beach wedding in December of 2021. No, I'm sorry, 2020. Yeah, and it was like just due because well, we were gonna get married in March the following year, but I found out I was pregnant. And so I was like, oh, let's just do this. Let's tie it up. Let's do all the things. And so we got married on the beach to do it officially, but we didn't want to go to City Hall and like wear masks. So we did it our way. And then yeah, so we just did that, and we ended up not having the big wedding. So thank the universe that we ended up doing it the way we liked to do it. And yeah.
That's that's exactly what I would want to do. Just a private ceremony outside somewhere. Yeah.
Right.
It's perfect. Right?
Perfect. Very perfect.
But I imagine like, we went there in my BQH session, but
yeah, exactly. It's real.
All right. So next I'm going to ask you what has helped you on your journey, and then I'll answer any questions from the viewers. So if you guys have any questions, I know there's already one in here, but we'll get to those at the end.
So help me on my journey with my twin flame?
Yeah.
In those hard times?
Yeah. What kinds of things did you do to get to where you are now, I guess?
Honestly, I had to shed the layers of the masks. It was like, if he really is, I told him I was weird, but he didn't know how fucking weird. You know what I mean? And I really had to keep going and doing the inner work, and I kept having to go inside, and there was a lot of walls I put up with him along the way, and they didn't need to be there. And if they're your true twin flame, like every time you take down one of those layers and really become into your authentic self, like as you merge with your higher self, that twin flame is always going to recognize that, because they've always saw that from the beginning, because they are the reflection of you and they understand you in that level. So what has helped me, and it's the same answer I'll probably give to any spiritual question I ever have, is you've got to go inside.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? What does that really look like? It means spending more time with yourself in the silence.
Not on your phone, not on the TV.
Right, Shelby?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to sit in the silence, and you have to be, when you're talking with somebody and it gets silent and you want to say something because it's weird?
Yeah.
You have to stop doing that with yourself. If you want to hear your guidance on what to do with your twin flame or any other situation that's in front of you, you have to be quiet. And you have to do that more often, even if it's uncomfortable, and it won't happen overnight. But this has been my practice. I've lived this way for over 10 years now, and it's not easy. And there's always 2 steps back. There's always 2 steps back. And that's the time for reflection, not guilt that you messed up, not shame that, you did something. I'll be really honest. Like, I missed your call, Shelby. That's why I wasn't here. Because of something that was going on, and it was intense. The energy was intense, and I was like,
right.
And I asked you, I was like, look, I need a few minutes. I have to center myself again, and I can go from that state of being, that lowered vibrational state of being, to a higher vibrational state of being, because you can feel it and you can sense it in me. But I'm able to do that within 20 minutes. Because I go inside and I transmute the energy as it happens. Now I have to go back out, and I still have to deal with something right now. But that's the beauty of like having this superpower, right? That we all have within inside of us. And the thing that I have to deal with is with my twin flame. What a more divine place to talk about all of this and still be in a high vibrational state. What an opportunity. What a gift to be authentic in this place, but still be high vibrational. I think there's a lot of, I don't know, I feel like I need to talk about this right now. I feel like there's a lot of imposter syndrome that happens with us. I know it happened with me for a long time, where I felt like, well, if I'm not feeling great and I'm not happy and I don't feel like being nice, then I must not be that spiritual or connected.
I get those thoughts.
You know, and that's not who we are. We're allowed to feel.
Right.
And everything irons itself out and it's beautiful. So doing the inner work, that's always going back to myself and being still. That's always what has helped me in every situation.
And Hala said, it's, going within, you talking to God, meditation, silence.
Yeah.
That's when you hear your guides, when you hear God talking to you.
Yes. And I
No,
love
and
it.
it's not always about being happy.
Yeah. And I love that you use the name of God. And I know a lot of us do, and I know a lot of us are a little like still thrown off and activated by that and triggered by that, I should say. But like, let's be real. Who are we talking about? And
Right.
we are all that. We are all
Yeah.
that is. Like we get to partake
Mhm.
in the beauty of that wholeness, which is God. We do. It's
Yes.
us.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. So thank you for acknowledging that energy.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming on, even though you are having to deal with something personal. So I'm going to get to Hala's question. Did your twin recognize the connection as quickly as you did?
Absolutely, 100%. But I think in that runner chaser moment, there was a little bit of like, no, it's not that, special. It's not that unique or something. I think there was a few moments of that in between, but we talk about it all the time. And he loves stories. He loves storytelling and he uses that all the time. He wants to tell everybody our story because it's so
Oh,
unique. You
I
can't
love that.
you can't make it up. It felt like a movie and it was better than a movie. So yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. Um, does anybody have any more questions? I think that's all the questions. So thank you so much for being here with me tonight. I love you.
I love you too, Shelby. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you all for being here.
And thank you all for being here. We really appreciate you being here. And I love you all. And I hope everybody has a great night.
Bye.